Welcome students. In this video, let us look at how to recognize the nature of a conic. That is, if you have a general equation of the form ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. We have understood that this represents some sort of a conic section. It can be a pair of lines. It can be a circle, it can be a parabola, it can be a hyperbola, it can be an ellipse, it might be a point, which is a degenerate case, or it might be a pair of lines or a single straight line. Anything might happen. So how do we recognize what this equation represents? Does it represent circle, ellipse, hyperbola, so on? What does it represent? So, to recognize the nature of the conic section, we use this table. First, we find the value of delta. The delta is the very important parameter for recognition. So, we know what delta is in the chapter of pair of lines. So, whenever an equation is given, to recognize the conic, first thing that you need to do is quickly find the value of delta. Delta is nothing but the determinant of, first write the terms containing x, a, h, g. Next write the terms containing y, h, b, f. Lastly, the last three terms g, f, c. So if this is equal to 0, then we are going with pair of lines. If delta is not equal to 0, we are going with other conics. And if delta is equal to 0, we go with pair of lines. And once we have pair of lines, then we have three subcategories. Next we go and calculate h square minus ab. h square minus ab. So if h square minus ab is positive, then you have real and distinct lines. Yes, real and two distinct lines, which are non-parallel to each other. If h square minus ab is equal to 0, we'll have either coincident lines or parallel lines. These are non-coincident, distinct, non-parallel. NP, non-parallel lines. If h square minus ab is equal to 0, you might have coincident lines, that means a single line, or set of parallel lines. And if h square minus ab is less than 0, you have imaginary pair of lines. That means you won't have a pair of lines. Why do we call it imaginary? Because delta is equal to 0, this looks like a pair of lines. But h square minus ab less than 0 means they are not really pair of lines. They represent just a point. They represent just the intersection point. So this is the nature when delta is equal to 0. Next, if delta is not equal to 0, then we have four different cases. So if h square minus ab is positive, we have a hyperbola. Hyper. So greater than 0, hyper. Just try to remember this. Greater than 0 means have a lot of energy in it. There's a hyper quantity. So hyperbola if h square minus ab is greater than 0. Equal to 0 parabola, less than 0 ellipse. And within less than 0 you have a special case. If h is equal to 0 and a is equal to b. So obviously this will become less than 0 because 0 minus a and b are same. You get something like a square. Minus a square is always negative. So you go into the condition of ellipse. So h is equal to 0 and a is equal to b. So if these conditions are valid, you get a special case in ellipse, which is a circle. So this is how we recognize the nature of a conic section. So I hope you understand the steps. First delta, then h square minus ab. These are the two quantities which are required. Thank you.